All right, let's talk spine. So this is our vertebral column. And what you need to know is that the vertebral column is important because it connects our lower extremity to our upper extremity. It is the main part of our kinetic chain. It disperses a lot of the energy that comes through our body. It absorbs a lot of shock. But probably most importantly, it protects our neurological system and our spinal cord. Our spinal cord is what connects our CNS from our brain, our central nervous system, connects it to our peripheral nervous system, which are the nerves that go out to every part of our body and that peripheral part of our body. Like our extremities and our arms and our legs, our fingers, it helps us write, it helps us jump and move and be functional. And the spinal cord is really important. So the vertebrae are designed to basically, I don't know if you can see, but it has a canal in the middle of these vertebrae where the spinal cord, the nerves are yellow, and that's the spinal cord, and then the nerves that come out from it, they run down the center of this entire spinal column. And then it also has a lot to do with our movement. And so each of these vertebrae are designed specifically to be able to adapt to the movement that we need in our neck, our mid back, and our low back and provide the stability that we need. So it's important to understand that and what the spinal column does as a whole. Now, when we start dividing this down, what you need to know is it's made of 33 vertebrae. It's made of 7 cervical, 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar, 5 fused ones to make this sacrum, and then 4 fused ones to make the coccyx, which is the tailbone. The coccyx, the sacrum, and the coccyx were not important to me until I learned to snowboard, and I was on the Veiled Mountain for over 50 days, so I picked something that was hard to learn, and boy was it hard, and I fell on this a lot, on my butt a lot, going very fast and very hard, and I broke it. And that's actually a common snowboarding thing, is to break your sacrum. Otherwise, we don't hear about the sacrum and the coccyx too much. All right, so how do you remember how many are in each? And you do need to remember that for this class. So I've always learned breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Cervical is 7, thoracic is 12, and lumbar is 5. So we eat breakfast at 7, an early breakfast, lunch at 12, and then we usually an early dinner at 5. And that's how I remember those. Now, when we're looking at the specific vertebrae, it does vary from cervical to lumbar, thoracic to lumbar. But for this class, I just want you to learn the certain processes and protuberances and kind of landmarks that apply to all of them, that are the really basic and simple ones. So when you're looking at a vertebrae, we're going to talk about the spinous process, that are the bony process in the very back that goes all the way down. It has a ligament that attaches all of these. And then you have the transverse process that stick out on the side. So if you feel the back of your neck and you feel these little bones sticking out, those are your spinous process. And then just move to the side and you have to push kind of hard. And if you rotate, you might feel it even more. Those are your transverse process. These are where muscles attach and ligaments attach to provide a lot of stability and allow motion and movement for us. This is the body of the vertebrae. And then inside here is the canal. So this is where the spinal cord goes. That is the vertebral canal. So those are the things that I want you to know for the vertebrae. And then these squishy things are the disc. And these are made of fibrocartilage, which is the same as the meniscus. And in it, it's almost like a jelly donut. The outside is the fibrocartilage, that outer layer. It works like a coil. And then the inside is like jelly. It's actually made of like a gelatinous type of material. But it's like basically 15 to 25 layers of cross-woven collagen that make that jelly kind of inner layer that basically when we're flexing and extending, that the jelly inside works as like a wheel bearing, and then the coil around it allows us to move, and that's that fibrocartilage. It absorbs a lot of shock, but it allows us to be able to bend and move. That disc does withstand the tension and the compression and the shearing much better than it does rotation and torsion. So that's where we get those disc injuries, and we will talk about that later. And then the last thing is just talking about the curvature. So when we're looking at the curve, you have a cervical curve, kyphotic curve at the thoracic and a lumbar curve in the lower back. And this is normal, but if you get a really pronounced like hunchback at the thoracic spine, that's kyphosis. If you get a pronounced lower back curve, that is lordosis. Or you could have what I have is flat back, where you have no curves at all. Can't really tell, but when I stand up, I don't really have any curvature really. And some of these things are genetic, and some of these things develop over time. Also, you can have scoliosis, which is developmental. You were born with that, where your spine curves laterally. So this is all important to kind of understand the spine and how it works. And if you have any questions, please reach out.